Monday. Am I blurry? Okay. I messed with the camera earlier because everything was off. Everything was off, including my audio. I was really confused. My audio still might be weird. Let me know if you can tell. Hello. It's Monday. I don't usually stream on Mondays. However, this week is a weird week. I had Sunday off at work because I was at an event, and today I was scheduled to work, but after I wrote my schedule, I'd already had a nail appointment, and so I was already scheduled to close, and then it turned out they're closing at 5, and then I wouldn't have done a full day of work, so I'm off on a Monday. But I got my nails did for 9 RIP. Will we be playing 9 RIP? That's a question. On day 1, I don't know yet. We keep trying to focus on my face, please. My hands out of focus don't look good. So we have, those look like flowers. And then I have my boy, and we have little stitch on a couple of them to make up for it. We didn't have enough colors in the watercolor look, which is what we're trying to make it look like, to do all the guys. So we did kind of an homage. I was pretty excited. I thought it was really cute. Hello, Ray. Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. I just don't have a game. I mean, I have a game, but I can't play that game for streaming, so I need my game. I get mine in a store. It hasn't arrived yet at said store, and there might not be packages today, which means said store might not have it till tomorrow. And if they don't have it till tomorrow, I don't know what time they'll have it tomorrow, which means I don't know if I'll be able to play or not, because we're going to a concert tomorrow night. So I had every intention of playing 9 hours. I wanted to make my first stream 9 hours. I had a vision. I was excited. So we'll see. We'll see. I feel you. I'm sorry. I know everyone was talking about it in chat. So on our Discord, everyone was talking about how like some people hadn't got their 9 RIP yet. Theirs had just gotten shipped. And I was like, you know what? Let me check mine. So I called and I was like, hey, has this arrived yet? Like, is it gonna be ready tomorrow? And it's no. I was like, okay. Maybe later. So we'll see. We'll see. There's still a chance. So hopefully. Can you tell I'm played recently? I just hit back instead of A. I did take my Switch with me on my thing I went this weekend. I'm not gonna lie. I liked Celeste Dia at first. But now I'm not so sure. Did I go too far? I did. How did I go too far? I feel like I was in the right spot. Where am I? How did I mess up? Pritam, hello! I'm trying to get to Taiga's route, but I'm lost. I was at the right choice. Oh, this is level 1. Okay, I went too far. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. I was gonna bring my stuff I bought this weekend. It was an event that we were support staff at, and I didn't think I'd buy anything, but there was a pin shop on the sales floor, and I buy pins like a crazy person. I spent way too much money on pins. I have a problem. It's me. It's me. We're gonna pick Taiga because apparently we like when he hugs us and he's blushing. And he also likes that we can sew. Taiga. Even he doesn't understand. You dyed your hair. Yeah, get ready. It's gonna change. This is bleeding so bad. If I run my hands through my hair, my hands change colors. I just got my nails did, but prior, like the underside of my nails were a different color because of my hair. Hi, Nyx, by the way. So, take it in. It's hopefully going to be like a little bit lighter the next time I stream. I does have color in it. I did take photos. I forgot to post it. I was about to say what color dye. It's just going to be a lighter color of this because I need to wash it 2 or 3 times so that it stops bleeding so much. It's bleeding so bad right now that like my pillow's stained. Any towel I touch with my hair is stained. Sometimes my clothes are getting stained. Yeah. Dark blues. It's actually purple. But it does look blue when it's bleeding, and it does look blue on camera, but it is actually purple. It's a dark purple. The pictures look way better to show you what the actual color is. I don't know why it looks blue on camera. I mean, I do know why it looks blue on camera because it's purple is like a variant of blue when you get this color, so yeah. Better wear black. Black does not come out. But this color has it's caught an oil slick in it, so they added like spots of color to my hair. Let's see if this kind of shows it. So there's like highlights in my hair that look like different colors. I have my hair in a ponytail right now. I was trying to see if I could show it, but you really can't see it like this. There was one little piece in the front that kind of had it. So there's like layers of color in this. It's probably gonna bleed out. You can kind of see that. That isn't an actual reflection of light. That's just my hair. But yeah. Someday. Oh yeah, the event we went to was doing a prom night theme, so I bought a prom dress. I might wear it on stream at some point. Is this gonna be so blurry? Please focus on me. You don't get to see it. There's a prom dress in that photo. But we decided to dress up for the occasion. Yeah, we bought the dress the same day as the event because we're like, why not? So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. I'll show those photos later in Discord once I remember to be proactive. It's that month. Also, this shirt's yellow. This should be a sign of how off this is. This shirt is yellow. This is a shirt I bought specifically for Taiga's route. It does not look yellow on camera. I need to fix the colors a bit more so it looks more true to the colors because everything's kind of vibrant. Like this looks a little more red than it really is. My pansexual lanterns are very pansexual, but you know, we're trying our best here. He's tactless. He mocks me constantly and does whatever he can to get under my skin, but he's not cruel and he's quite attentive and can actually be nice. This is a terrible choice. You picked a terrible person by just description alone. So it is Taiga then. Huh? What? She asked for you. Taiga's here?
Huh?
Why is Taiga here? The screen in the back of the room opened and revealed. If my cam was true to color, I'd look like a vampire. God. Okay, my running joke is I am a vampire. I'm really pale, which is why my cheeks are always so red. But I always look like I'm blushing. And so like when I do get like too hot, this like natural blush looks terrible. I'm here just in time for this part. Why is he behind the curtain? I heard about your 9 RIP copy. I know, it's not here yet. I can't play it yet. So I might be playing something else. I actually was offered another game with like the stipulations of not playing it all the way through. Like I can get to a certain chapter, which if I don't have it in time, I might play tomorrow or I just might play this tomorrow. That way we can finish it. We'll see. I'm heartbroken. I'm sad. I got my nails done, Asia. My nails are ready for 9 RIP, but I am not, apparently. But yes. All right, come old man. It's not fair to comment. Why is he here?
Huh?
Yo.
Hey. Why are you here? Why is this different? It saved me so much time. I didn't have to go through the fast forwarding. What the heck? What is this? Oh, Taiga's circumstances. Okay. I'm distracted from stream next fest. 4 demos, 2 demos. I plan to play this. Other 2 next week. I was playing Mirage Nord demo. Oh boy. Here we go. Oh no. I'm curious. This is already different. There's actually a couple games I wanted to play this month because it's Halloween, but we'll see if I actually have time. I've been waiting for this run. I also plan to stream on Halloween Day. I was debating if it's gonna be 9 RP or just spooky something. That I'm not sure yet. The next day, I was summoned to the main estate. Also, Jay's already finished 2 routes, and honest, that gives me hope that they're not that long. I really enjoy this route. I'm excited. He was the one. He's last, which means he's my favorite so far. So we'll see if I enjoy it. But we've had some weird routes, and so like I'm not 100% sold yet. The next day, I was summoned to the main estate. In my meeting with grandfather, I was told a story that was so shocking it didn't seem real. In summary, the Branch family's business failure and cover-up attempt. The architect of the cover-up demanding a marriage interview with me as a means of compensation, and grandfather's insistence that I choose a fiance right then and there so we could deflect said demands. Oh, following some deep, difficult thought, I chose Taiga, him, and then he somehow just popped up. Taiga's just here. Don't forget the true route after this. Oh boy. I was also told the true route is like just as long. Guys, oh my gosh. I'm not sure. Why on earth is Taiga here? We also still need to play another short Atome game to make up for the fact that last month we didn't play a second Atome game because how long this one took. So... Sorry, taking. It's not done yet. We're not done. That was premature celebration. I know better than that. I watch movies. Also, I watched Terrifier 3 on Friday, Saturday, Thursday night. We watched it the day it came out. The day before it came out. Did anybody else watch that? Anyone into horror movies? I thought I was going to be really grossed out because they were talking about it. And when we left the theater and I said I wasn't that grossed out, my sister's like, that's because we're the problem. They're talking about normal people. And I'm like, oh. I glared over at the villain, but he returned my look with an unrepentant smirk. What short Atome game are you planning to play? I'm not sure yet. I don't know how short the Nekopada boy version is, but I was told it wasn't that long, and I was thinking of doing that one. I can't think of its name right now because I was told about it during Saboten, and I was like, if that's short enough, because they said that they felt like it was more of a demo than a full game, and they wanted like a full game to be released later on, but I'll have to double check. I shifted my wrathful glare at Kasuga, but he simply shook his head and shrugged.
Taiga-san, 説明して.
Taiga, explain yourself.
俺かよ
Me? There's also a chance that Virtue might not be that long. I'm not looking into anything Virtue related. Just to be clear, Shannon's really excited about Virtue. She also goes by Leah. Because it's her favorite game. And so I don't know how long it's going to be. I'm not even going to Google it. I'm not even going to risk accidentally seeing information about Virtue. Not doing it. Not doing it. So, that one might be short. So we might have some free time in November. Could also just be overwhelmed with work during November. Because I think last year, around November, I got a couple days where I just didn't stream a couple weeks because it's retail. I work retail. It's a nightmare in October, November, and December. Me? The scowl on his face deepened as my glare bore into him.
どうしてここにいるの? ここで何してるの?
What are you doing here? Why did you show up?
何って
I'm just... He's also the first one to know she picked him. None of the other guys knew this. He's actually laughing.
小娘とタイガの小競り合いが見られるとはな。いや、長生きはするもんじゃの。
Are we marrying our cousin? What is this? To think I would someday get to watch Taiga and Leah bicker? Fate is kind for letting me live long enough to see this.
じいさん笑ってないで説明してやれって
What's happening? Gramps, come on, quit laughing and shed a little light on this poor confused kid. Taiga's tone was annoyed. He was chastising grandfather, a bold move indeed. Grandfather in turn merely smiled. Shatter Souls fully funded and got the stretch goal met too, so very spicy DLC and 3 side characters got DLC routes, so I'm happy. Ooh, I should play a really spicy Atome game someday. It'll have to be like a careful one. I have to figure out which ones we're allowed to play. Explain yourselves.
実はあの家には春日以外にも監視役がおる。誰かわかるか？
Taiga's just a wait. Who was I supposed to marry in this entire house? Shion and Ichiya, whose name I kept trying to say doesn't start with the Y, but I kept trying to say Y. Those are the two people you actually put in that house for me to marry. One of them wanted to be a bodyguard. This guy's just an informant. I'm marrying an informant? As you probably know by now, Kasuga isn't the only pair of eyes I have stationed at that house. Can you guess who else is observing the scene? Gee, can you guess? He asked.
春日以外に
An observer besides Kasuga? If there's someone else besides Kasuga, they would have to be one of my suitors. Grandfather brought it up. With Taiga here, girl, please, I don't need this much. I know, I understand. Taiga's listening. You're kidding me.
タイガはわしが潜ませた監視役じゃ。
I sent Taiga to keep an eye on things for me. Oh ho ho. You know how Taiga wasn't really thirsty or care for to marry her? It's so true. He was very indifferent. But there's always like a moment. There was like this moment too with Narita, because Narita's like, I just want to be your bodyguard, where he's all like, I'm not a suitor anymore, and I'm like, okay, but if you always want to be my bodyguard, in every route he should have ended up her bodyguard, except for obviously the one where you date him. Dude, I stifled a gasp. Grandfather pretended not to notice my shock.
春日も監視役には違いないが、
It's a
どう見ても
trap.
お前の味方じゃからの。
Kasuga
春日の前ではあやつらも気
is
を
an
張るじゃ。
effective observer, but he's biased, and the other suitors automatically alter their behavior when they're around him.
だからタイガを花婿候補として送り込んだ。こいつの前なら気楽に話すじゃろうって。それに何かあればフォロー役もできる。
That's why I sent Taiga as a spy. I figured the others would be at ease around him and speak their minds. He could also offer assistance as needed.
でもどうしてタイガさんなの？おじい様との接点が見当たらない。
But like, this is worse. This is worse than the bodyguard. Isn't it? Is it? I don't even know. Why him? I have no idea how the two of you even know each other. Hi Leah, hi Bun Buns, hi J Bun! We were actually just talking about how you finished 2 routes already, and it's giving me hope that I'll be able to finish 9 RIP at a decent time. Your hair looks great. Thank you. It's actually going to change again very soon, but not like change, more like I'm going to wash it 2 or 3 times because it's bleeding so bad right now. So it might be a little lighter next time. And it actually might look purple. It looks blue on camera, but it's purple, I swear. I was utterly lost. Grandfather continued his explanation a little more slowly. I also need you to re-pronounce your name for me, because I keep saying Lao, and I know it's not right. I keep doing it in my head.
施設育ちなのは知っとるな。
You're aware Taiga's an orphan, right? Fucking hell.
はい。
Perfect timing. Did you enjoy the 2 routes, and who is your favorite so far? So far, Shion is still really high on my list. Muma, hello! I really liked Shion's route. It made sense, sort of. Narita's still not very high. Ichiya's still my least favorite. In fact, I made clips of Ichiya's route because I could not handle Ichiya's route. So bad. Like lore. Okay, I'm gonna do it wrong again. Get ready. I'm really bad at it, but I'm gonna remember that as best I can, given my tiny, tiny memory span. But yeah, Shion so far is my favorite. We're gonna see if Taiga can change that. I just like how sweet Shion is. I like how, I don't know, he feels like the most observant person out of them all. Like, if there was one person who I was all like, they know what's going on, it's Shion. Even though he doesn't talk like he does all the time. I mean, he knew to like literally treat her like a pet to get her to like him. It's just that 9-year-old. I had beef with the 9-year-old that entire game. He had told me himself that his parents abandoned him at the door of an orphanage shortly after he was
タイ
born.
ガのいた施設はわしの古くからの友人が運営するところ
Oh
で
my
な。
gosh.
たまにわしも顔を見せに行って
Oh wait, you were talking to Jay. My apologies, Asia. Hibiki, but Kuraha is pretty sweet. Oh my goodness. Okay, also, I didn't actually go over my nails yet. Okay, so my nails, we have the colors, right? This one she had to make. Once I take photos, it'll make more sense. She had to make this one because she didn't have the colors. And then I have my boyfriend. He got his own nail. It's looking as inky as possible, but my camera does not want to look like this right now. Please. The background is not even that close to you. Thank you. So yeah, she made flowers out of her watercolor ink. It was a great time. It was a great time. So yes. And I can't even play the game tomorrow. I got my nails done for this. The orphanage where he grew up is ran by an old friend of mine. I would stop by there every once in a while to pay him a visit. Grandfather going to an orphanage. I think of Laurel. The sound. I also want to know how you feel about his route in this game. I wanted to ask, but I forgot. Gotta run, but enjoy the big reveal about Taiga. Wait, is this the big reveal or is there another one? Then he would see the children, chat with them, and even play with them. What about me? I can't even begin to picture it. This is also the girl who doesn't ask for affections. My brow furrowed in thought, but Taiga spoke up and interrupted my musing.
お嬢には信じられねえかもな。けど、お前が思ってるよりこのじいさんはお人よしなんだぜ。
I don't believe you, Taiga. But I also kind of believe you because I never really thought her grandfather was an asshole. I'm sure you won't believe this, babe, but Gramps' heart is about as hard as a soft-boiled
施
egg.
設の支援だって個人的に
I'm obsessed with Kurahei. He's so sweet. I always call him Red Puppy. If only I could play. I was gonna play for 9 hours. I was gonna be so extra. I was gonna wear my dress, not my dress, my school uniform that I bought. Whenever the orphanage was short on cash.
タイガ
Taiga. Grandfather gave Taiga a sharp glance. He shrugged and looked
と
away.
にかくタイガのことは
Poor Leah, I
ガキ
know.
の頃から知っとる。まあ、腐れ縁みたいなもんじゃ。
We'll see. There's still a chance. I know that like normal post office isn't running. I Googled if FedEx was delivering today. I was told yes. So there's a chance. There's also a chance it won't arrive, but there's a chance it will. I've known Taiga since he was a child. He clung on to me, and as you can clearly see, I've yet to get rid of him. Also, Leah, when you play 9 RP and play Kuraha's route, I plan to wear red top, red, purple tights for his route. He's just ready to support. I'm excited about that. That makes me very happy. I was thinking because of the tie of trying to maybe make different color ties if I keep wearing the costume for the whole stream. I don't know if I'm going to. It's long sleeve. It's long sleeve because hers is long sleeve and I want to be character accurate, but it's also long warm. There is that gap mo. Nice, nice. There's also what I'm gonna do, actually I'll probably do this tonight since there's a chance I might not start the game tomorrow. I'm gonna post in Discord the route order I'm gonna do because I want to do, I'm not gonna do this exactly like from least favorite to most favorite character. It's going to be like least favorite character but it stays in that world because I don't want to switch between worlds. I want to do all 4 worlds in order kind of. So it'll be like least favorite and then we'll do the second in that world, and then if that happens to be, we're pretty much gonna end in Seiya's, is that his name? Seiya's and Hibiki's route? That's not his name. The guy that has sleeves that's voiced by that guy I like that's a psychopath. I don't know, always. So I'll have a map of it because it's not going to be the normal-ish order. since each world shares a common route. Exactly. That's why I want to do it that way, so it makes more sense for the streaming part of it. Because my memory is too much like a goldfish. If I leave a world, I'm gonna forget how I got to that world. Won't remember any of it. He was making a show of grumbling, but I could hear an undercurrent of happiness in grandfather's voice. I can hardly believe it. They really are friends. While I was trying to process that fact, Taiga turned and looked at me.
ま、そういうわけだから、婚約者かっこ仮は新しく選び直せ。俺はあくまで監視役だからね。
Pulled out a Roddy right there. That's how it is. I'm just an observer. That's it. You'll have to pick somebody else to be your temporary fiancé.
一夜もシオンもナユタも手はかかるが悪い奴らじゃねえだろ。
So
どうする？
mean. The other three are a bit high maintenance, but they aren't bad people, right? So which one of them are you gonna pick? True, they weren't bad people. In the time we'd spent together, I found good points in all of them. But there's a hair on my arm and it's scaring me.
やっぱりタイガさんにする。
Nah. I chose Taiga. I'm sticking by my choice.
あのなお嬢、だから俺は
Babe, listen. I just told you
だ
I'm...
って
I know.
だってまだ花婿選びには時間が必要なんだもの。
I promise you I'm going to be like, Leah, please send this CG to me in every route in 9RRP. I could post them. If you guys want, when I take my screenshots afterwards, I can post them in the Discord so everyone can have them. Reminds me of how Winter's Wish had it like that. Did I play it like that? Because I know each part of the story had like two guys. Oh, you're right, it's districts. My brain's like, it's all, but it was all in the same place. But yeah, districts. Kinji. I miss Kinji. You can also find CGs from Zero-chan. Oh, yeah, I think you told me about that website. Fortnite did an update. I'm so proud of Fortnite. I can now play the new horror update in Fortnite. Which, by the way, I know I said I was going to play Call of Duty. I have been playing Call of Duty. I just haven't been streaming. Because we usually go like, we're going to play for an hour. And I'm like, I'm too tired. I'm not going to turn on my stream stuff right now. So I got my Sam outfit and I got the skin. But I still have some more missions to do on that. I need time to choose who will be my final choice.
差し迫った状況だったから選んだけど、本当はもっとちゃんと考えたい。
Plus, I picked you, so who cares? You don't want to marry me? What, you don't like me? You don't think I'm cute? You don't think this 15-year-old girl who's still in high school who has to get married because her family's forcing her is cute? That's your problem. Yeah, your fault for walking in this house. I made this decision because the situation's urgent. Honestly, I want more time to think. And that's why I'll choose Taiga. He doesn't actually want to marry me. He never wanted to
事
marry
情
me.
を知ってるタイガさんを選べば、他の3人を見る時間も増えるし、フォローだってしてくれるでしょ。
Taiga's aware what's really going on. If I choose him, I have more leeway to study the other three, and you're there to help if I need it, right?
要するに俺は時間稼ぎ要員ってことか。
Basically, I'm currency that'll buy you time. He didn't expect to have a route, imagine. He didn't expect that he'd be our type. He didn't realize that I like the guys that apparently put a helmet on my head and make me smell their sweat. Didn't realize it. He frowned. After a moment, he glanced over at me with narrowed eyes.
本当にあいつらの中から花婿を選ぶつもりはあるんだろうな。
You're gonna eventually pick one of the other three, right? Hey, who knows?
適当言って花婿選びから逃げてるんじゃねえよな。
Just tell me you aren't saying that we want to, what we want to hear, so you can get out of picking anyone at all. We? Who's we in this situation, Taiga? Just because you're an informant doesn't mean that you get to tell me how to feel. You didn't realize I'm into pink-haired guys? With like unnatural eye colors to match. It's not just the hair. The eyes have to be unnatural too. Ibuki? Great example. I couldn't say the idea hadn't crossed my mind. I dropped my eyes from him.
何言ってるのよ。私がそんなことす するはずないでしょ。
What are you talking about? I'd never do that kind of thing.
若干片言になってんじゃねえよ。あのな、お嬢。
That was very convincing, babe. Now listen to me.
私もお嬢様の意見に賛成です。
There's literally a side character who's got long and pink hair in Shattered Souls, and yes, a DLC route. I like long hair. I don't know if I like long dark hair and long white. Like, I don't really care what color the hair is. Because, like, there's too many. There's just too many. Like, Kinji, long black hair. Loved it. Gorgeous. Loved him the whole time. Then we had Anku, long silver hair. Gorgeous. Loved him the entire time. I'm trying to picture all the people I can right now with long hair. Listen, everybody, long hair. Sessho Maru. Like, it keeps going. The list never ends. I agree with Miss Leah's decision. Kasuga, yes!
花婿選びは一生に関わります。時間に猶予があるのなら、吟味を重ねるに越したことはありません。
Her choice of suitor is a decision that will affect her entire life. If there is a way to give her extra time to consider her options, it's best she takes the chance. Imagine. Like, if she ended up picking Narita. Like, imagine there's a subsection where she ends up on Narita's, like, story a little bit. And then he's like, I just want to be your bodyguard. She's like, is all these got like mofos not actually here to marry me? Does nobody actually want to be married to me? Did my grandpa just say, and you go to, and you go to a bunch of randos? Her choice of suitor decides will affect her entire life.
ほら
See? If Kasuga's on my side here, I know this will work. After a moment, I realized I was grinning. Taiga heaved a sigh and put his head in his
わ
hand.
かったよ。仮の婚約者とやらになってやる。
Okay, I'll play the part of your temporary fiance or whatever.
ただし、見合いを無事やり過ごしたら、ちゃんと花婿を選べ。わかってんの？
But once all this talk about the marriage interview is over, you better pick a real suitor. Am I clear? He emphasized his point with a sharp look. I reluctantly nodded.
それから、俺を仮の婚約者に選んだことは絶対に連中に知られるな。
Also, don't let anyone else catch on to the fact that you picked me as a temporary
もし
fiance.
知られたら、お嬢が奴らを見極める前に、向こうが戦意喪失して出ていく可能性もある。だから秘密だ。いいな？
Yes. If you do, it's possible they'll flat out give up and leave before you have a chance to give them any real consideration. This is the secret, got it?
わかった
Yes. And here I thought this was my chance to get away from this relentless flirting.
お嬢？
Babe.
わかってるってば
I get it!
ならよし。つうわけだからな、じいさん。
Good. So yeah, that's how it's gonna be, Gramps. Grandfather looked at us both, his mouth turned down into a frown.
なんじゃつまらん。わしは大河で決まりでも良いのにのう。小娘、
My
こいつも
brain
要チェックじゃぞ。
misread that bottom line as if you do what he says, and I'm like, what? What's that's dull. Leah, I wouldn't mind if you chose Taiga. He's not a bad catch if I do say so myself.
話をこじらせんな。
Don't complicate things. Taiga glared at grandfather, then sighed and turned back to me.
じゃあまあ、そういうわけだ。話もついたことだし、解散だな。
Sounds like we got a plan. Anything else? No? Good, let's wrap this
そう
meeting
ね
up.
タイガさんも一緒の車で帰る
Yes, will you be riding home with us, Taiga?
ああ、けどその前に、
You bet, but first, Taiga sharpened his glare.
俺はちょっと話があるから。なあ、じいさん。
This looks like he's bullying an old man. Gramps and I have something we need to talk about. Ain't that right, Gramps?
わしはちょっと用事が。
Ooh, sorry, I have an appointment.
今日は何もねえっつってたろ。
You already told me your schedule was empty today.
ええ
Aww.
いいじゃねえわ。
Don't you awe me? My word, they really are close. It's the only one your grandfather likes. Oh my god, just marry him. After agreeing to meet up with Taiga later, Kasuga and I left the room. My blankets everywhere. Also, update, my chair's not broken. I'm just stupid and I figured out how to make it tilt again. To think that Taiga wasn't really a suitor, but instead an observer grandfather sent. Took a stroll in the gardens as I was still a little too early to get.
かなり驚いたけど、なんとかうまく話がまとまってよかったわ。
I took a stroll in the garden as it was still a little too early to go to my rooms. That was a shock. I'm glad that we managed to sort everything out in an agreeable fashion.
ええ、私もそう思いますよ。
It was indeed agreeable. Thank you. Right? I felt the tension slowly start to lift from my shoulders. If Kasuga believed we'd done the correct thing, that was enough to give me all the confidence I needed. That's because we trust Kasuga! That's why we should date Kasuga, right guys? Everyone agrees.
ただ、気を抜くのは早いですよ。むしろ分家からはより厳しく動向を伺われることになるでしょうし。
However, you cannot afford to relax yet. In fact, I would presume the branch families will pay even closer attention to your actions from now
そ
on.
れって
Then,
失態は許されないということです。そんなに驚かれるとは、私も見くびられたものですね。
okay. I'm just skipping a little bit because that's them just repeating the same thing that happened in the last one, but it's not skippable in this one because it's considered the first chapter.
私も驚かされましたよ。
I got an ad. No, dating Kasuga. No!
あのね、事情があって、それにカズさんはすごくいい人。
Kasuga, there's a good reason. Kasuga's nice.
人柄は問題ではあります。もし分家にそのことをよろしいですね。彼には
ウィス
あなたのためです。
Okay.
マ。分かった。でもお願い。
This, okay.
どうぞ。明ら
そう
I'm not, this is, I can't skip it, but this has all
SNS の
been
寂
happened
しいつ
before.
ながりが途切れることはよくありますよ。
他人事
大事。
I stared at my phone, unable to process what happened. Kasuga briskly walked off, leaving me behind. Right now, I had to focus on my suitors. Feeling extremely guilty, I plopped after Kasuga towards the gate. Ah, mood. When we reached the front gate, Taiga was already there, leaning against a gate post,
す
looking
ぐにお車を
cool.
ご用意いたします。
I'll call for a car right away.
あ
Okay. Taiga was staring at his shoes, scowling fiercely as nonchalantly as I could I
お
ask.
じい様とは何の話を？
So what did you and grandfather
聞くな。
don't ask? Excuse me? That answer wasn't good enough for me, but it was obvious that he didn't want to talk about it. I had no choice but to hold my peace. Rude. I was just gonna ask questions. About half an hour into our car trip, we had nearly reached the vacation home when Taiga finally broke his silence.
お嬢、念のため、もう一回確認だ。
Babe, let's go over this one last time, just to be sure.
連中の前で仮の婚約者を選んだこと、絶対に言うなよ。
Don't slip up and announce my role as your temporary fiance in front of the others, got it?
それから、俺が監視役だってことも。いいな？
And don't you dare tell them I'm a spy amongst them. Are we clear?
そんなに何度も言わなくても大丈夫よ。
Yes, we are. You don't have to keep repeating yourself. She's like, anyways, my fiance Taiga. I spent most of my life acting. After all, I acted the role of the Tojo family heir as was expected of me. Speaking of fiancés, my nail tech got engaged on their vacation. I was so excited. I was so happy, but also scared that she won't be my nail tech anymore. It's gonna be really hard for me to find someone I can just show a bunch of pictures of hot boys to and be like, make this into nail art, and they'll do it. I know, right? Congratulations. It was so cute.
これくらい完璧にこなしてみせるわ。
I'm good at keeping up appearances. I spoke with confidence, but his gaze was full of doubt.
お嬢は見え張るのは得意でも、嘘つくのは下手くそだからな。
I hate the true route, but I'm excited for you to play the true route. I'll laugh at your pain. Anyways, I'm about to mention something before we were talking about Kasuga. Oh god, I still love the sympathy kiss nail art, right? That one was so cute. And now we have 9 RIP nail art, and I still think the Cupid Parasite nail art was one of my favorite ones, even if the game was not one of my favorites. You know that one upcoming game with the yellow bunny, the Genso Magica? Yeah, I do know that game. It's got a demo. Is the bunny in the demo route? I know it's a person inside a costume. I understand. It's on Steam. But I want it on Switch. I'm really excited about that one. It's so cute. Plan to play it next week. You should play it. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know how you feel about the writing. I believe this one is similar to Celestia. I could be wrong though. You can put up a good front, yeah, but you suck at lying, babe. Excuse me?
たまにポロッと顔とか声に出てるの気づいてるか？あいつらに慣れてきてから特に。
The tone of your voice, the look on your face, you're easier to read than a book sometimes, especially now that you're getting used to being around the others.
そんなこと
I do not do that. At least I didn't think that was the case.
ガスが、お前
It's
は
probably on Switch. I can find out, but I probably shouldn't open my eShop right here. What do you think, Kasuga?
私の言葉でお嬢様を傷つけるのは不本意ですので。
I make a point to never say anything that might hurt Miss
だっ
Leah.
てよ。
See? That hurt plenty. Thanks, Kasuga. I thought that I was always a picture of calm dignity. It was a shock to hear I wasn't. Oh, I wanted it this year. I heard the ETA is January 2025. I thought it was supposed to be this year. They push it? They push back my game? I thought it was coming out in December. Wait. Right now I'm playing Mirage Noir demo and the Winter's Night demo. The Winter's Night is by the same devs as Snow White Ashes, which I was thinking of doing that demo and playing Snow White Ashes again because I was half asleep when I played that demo. At the same time. Are you sure you want it this year? We already got enough games in 2024. Listen, once we finish this, we're playing 9 RIP and then we're playing Verge, and that's November. If it comes out in December, it's right on time. Magic. Besides, I didn't get my dream of playing all the Code Realizes this year. That's gonna be next year, she said. A few moments later, we arrived at the vacation home.
それじゃ、また後でな。
Okay, see you later. Taiga got out and promptly started walking away to the front
タイガ
door.
さん玄関はこっち
Taiga, the front door is this way. Pointed towards the door, he turned and looked at me so he could roll his eyes.
俺らが一緒に帰ってきたらあいつらが騒ぐだろう。俺は少し遅れて帰るから、お嬢は先に。
Next year, unless more releases are coming. There's so many releases coming out next year. You need to play Snow White Ashes. The extended demo came out months ago. There's a certain part you need to see. The funny thing is, just like my game backlog, I have a demo backlog because I download demos. And then I put them in a folder. And that folder sits on my desktop glaring at me. I might just do a demo day again where I just play a few demos. Sometimes demos are long though, which is great. But a demo to me is like an hour. But some of these are like 3 hours. And I'm like, you guys, you're giving me way too much content. Thank you. The original demo was an hour, but the extended demo is 3 to 4. You can finish it in one stream. Okay. I have a folder named Itch.io. You know what? That's basically where they're all from, so that makes perfect sense. If we show up at the same time, the others will notice and make a fuss. I'll take a walk and come back later. Go ahead and...
お嬢さん、お帰りなさい。
Hi, Leah. Welcome home. I heard your voice because I was standing by the door waiting for you. My gosh.
なゆたくん
Nayata.
車の音が聞こえて、って、あれタイガさんも一緒だったんですか？
I heard the sound of a car. I knew it had to be. Huh? Taiga was with you.
え
Did you hear that the .io is getting removed? Are they changing it to something? Or is it just going to become like calm? Or which reminds me, we're gonna be making apparently an Otome game, guys. We talked about this. Hang on. I'm bad right now. Not Natalie. Is it Natalie? Natalie. Yeah, that Natalia. Drew, our adorable evil queen. So we're gonna start fleshing that out. That's gonna be hilarious. Alright. I got tongue-tied as I searched for the right answer. Taiga sighed and interrupted me.
そこで一緒になっただけだ。偶然な、偶然。
We bumped into each other in town. That's all. It's a total coincidence.
そうよ。そうなの。別に鎌倉から一緒に帰ってきたわけじゃ。
Girls so bad at this. That's exactly it. It isn't as if we came all the way back from Kamakura together. I could feel Taiga's eyes boring into the back of my head. A bead of cold sweat dripped down my spine. Nadata is a puppy. This man's not gonna notice anything.
いや、
I mean,
へえ、そうだったんですか。それよりご飯食べましょう。今日はすっごい豪華なんですよ。
someone made a poly game jam? Hang on, wait. That's not poly enough for me. That's just two people. That's a trouble. That's not a poly. Listen. The IO domain stands for Indian Ocean, and the area country has been returned to the country of Mauritius, meaning the domain will have to be removed in the next few years. Oh. I'm picturing all the domain names I know, and I'm all like, but what does COM stand for then? Other ones make sense because it sounds like the country they're from. Okay, anyways, it's about time to eat. Tonight's dinner is going to be a triple-sized gourmet feast.
そう。
Ah,
早く早く。
come on, hurry. Narita cheerfully tugged me by the arm, completely oblivious to how the corner of my mouth was twitching. Thank goodness, it was only Narita, and Narita is an idiot, so he would never know any better.
先が思いやられるな。
Great, what have I gotten myself into? I pretended not to hear Taiga muttering behind me, because you know what? I'm considerate. I'm a considerate person, Taiga. Ooh-hoo-hoo. Oh goodness. Isurugi. The Observer. What a name. They made a boy love visual novel. I saw Blurdy play their game. I'm glad they came up with a poly game jam. Someone needs to turn a love triangle into a poly. I'm saying, I'm down. But like, it needs to feel better than what they did to Ruki. The next morning, awake and dressed, I stood before my mirror. I stared at my reflection, my expression serene. Slowly, I closed my eyes. Then I thought back to the conversation between Taiga, Kasuga, and myself yesterday in the car. People can read you like a book, yo.
私の
Let them talk. I'm going to prove them both wrong. I clenched my fist, took a deep breath, and then walked out of my room with my head held high. And then someone's gonna be like, so you were at Kamakura with... I don't remember the name.
すいません、ごめんなさい。俺が悪かったです。
That's a problem. That's a problem. I'm sorry. It's entirely my fault.
謝るだけなら猿でもできんだよ。
Even a lobotomized ape can rattle off apologies.
見ろ、ここにでっかく名前書いてあんだろ。気づかなかったとは言わせねえぞ。
Look right here. Do you see my name written in really big letters? I know for a fact you at least know the alphabet, so don't lie.
ごめんなさい。でも俺お腹ペコペコで。
I'm sorry, it's just I was really hungry.
言い訳すんな。
No excuses.
痛い。
That hurts. Taiga had a flelly Narita in a headlock and was grinding his scalp with a savage noogie. I blinked, not quite certain that what I was seeing. Shion, who was enjoying his breakfast, carefully explained. The two webtoons, same creators. I got poly relationships, 3 girls from Muted, and another one called Lovebots. 3 guys. Interesting. We'll see. I have such a backlog. Hear me out. Keep adding to backlog.
タイガが名前書いておいたプリン食べちゃったんだって。
Taiga had a cup of flan in the fridge with his name written on it. Narita took it and ate it without asking.
そう。プリンね。
A cup of flan, huh? He's murdering Narita over pudding? I looked over at Taiga, my brow raised in disapproval. He ignored me and continued lecturing Narita.
いいか、名前が書いてあるっつうことは、そいつが絶対に取られたくねえってことだ。
Dude, I feel that way
だから
about
勝手に
snacks.
食うのはルール違反。
I usually don't care if someone wants to eat one of my snacks, but like at least ask. Don't just take it. If you take it without asking, then in my brain it still exists, all right? And if I go to find it because I'm like, oh, I have this snack, I can't wait to eat it, and then it's gone, you are now my enemy. You have now stolen from me. But if you, in the process of going to get said snack, sees and goes like, hey, can I have this? Yeah, sure, have it. I know it's gone now. I know it's okay. We don't mention backlog. We just call it my collection at this point. Oh no. Collection of webtoons or collection of games. Webtoons, thankfully, I don't know if it's thankful or not. I don't have too many webtoons I read, and unfortunately the one I started reading, I don't know when it's gonna end. The thing is, I hate reading stuff that's ongoing. And it's not anything against creating a story. I just want to read it all in one go. I also don't want to be trapped forever, One Piece, watching or listening to the same thing and waiting for like the conclusion. Like, I wanna know, how long is this commitment? You know what I mean? Like, how long do I have to watch this? 24 manga issues? Okay, I can do that. 20, 30? I actually don't remember. I can do that. Never ever ending? 150 ongoing? For some reason, I steal my brother's snacks. I steal my mom's food. My mom steals my food, and my brother's food. Family steals others' food. I understand that. And that's fine. However, if I expect it, you'll feel my wrath. If I open the fridge and I'm like, oh my god, I left something in there. I only ate half of it. I can't wait. It's gone. Hands. Catching them. When you write your name on something, that means it's yours, period. Eating it without asking is stealing, and that's against the rules.
共同生活はそういうとこが大事なんだよ。次から気をつけろ。いいな。
Rules like that are critical when living with roommates. Be more careful next time. Got me?
はい。ごめんな
Yes,
さい。
sir. I'm sorry.
タグ、分かったならいい。
Jeez, as long as you know you did a bad thing.
はい。あ、お嬢さん。おは
Yes,
よ
sir.
うございます。
Oh, Leah, good morning.
おはよう。
Good morning. I greeted Narita, who was still rubbing tears from his eyes, and casually looked over at Taiga. He actually sounded responsible for a minute. I know he was in an orphanage, but just picture him as like a person with a giant family, right? He's used to teaching children lessons. I got Reese's cup, so I wouldn't be surprised if my mom and my brother stole a Reese's cup. Now, Reese's Cup is my favorite snacky. Okay, I don't have any right now, but like, it's my time of year where I can buy a bunch of Reese's Cups. And like, it's a good time. It's a good time to be me. That's all I'm saying. Well, I tried to process the astounding fact I heard a cheery voice drift from the kitchen.
おはようお嬢さん。今日も君のために素敵なモーニングを用意したからね。
Morning, Leah. Now that you're here, it's like the sun has risen for me a second time. Come, I've made you a perfect breakfast.
さあ、早く座って。
Have a seat.
今日のメニューはイングリッシュマフィンにポーチドエッグ。
We have a homemade English muffin with poached egg. There's jam available if you'd like any.
ありがとう。
Thank you.
タイガは青汁でいいんだろ？そこにあるから。
Taiga, you want your veggie juice right? It's over there.
Thank you.
Thanks. Taiga walked over to the counter and poured the juice out of its shaker and into a glass. He sipped it with a grimace on his face. Watching him out of the corner of my eye, I let my thoughts slip from my
ちょっ
mind.
と意外。
That's unexpected.
何が？
What was?
ルールとか決まりとかそういうの嫌いなんだと思ってたから。
You giving the lecture of rules? I thought you hated things like that. Taiga thought for a moment and then nodded
施
slightly.
設じゃそれが当たり前だったからな。
That's just the way it was back at the orphanage. That makes sense. I had little idea what life in an orphanage would be like, but with many people living together, rules would be necessary to keep order. Writing your name on something Writing your name on something you don't want others to take away from you, for example. I nodded to myself and my suitors boisterously ate their own breakfast.
タイガさん、あのプリンすっごく美味しかったですよ。
Taiga, that flan was pretty delicious, by the way.
ああ、そうかよ。つかお前が言うな。
Really? Thanks for your report, flan thief.
タイガがスイーツを食べたがるなんて珍しいよね。そんなに美味しいの？
It isn't every day that you deliberately get sweets for yourself. Is that flan really delicious?
安物だぜ。お前には向かねえよ。ガキの頃よく食ってたからか、たまに無性に食いたくなるんだよな。
Nah, it's the cheap stuff. You wouldn't like it. I had it a lot when I was a kid, so I get nostalgic for it every now and again, that's all.
プリンといえば、確かこの近くに有名なパティスリーがあって。
Speaking of flan, I think there's a famous pastelier somewhere near here. Taiga, you got permission to nod at the... You know? I'm down. That's not a bad pairing. I listened to their conversation with half an ear, watching Taiga out the corner of my eye. Knowing that he was an observer made me see him in a new light. He looked like a different person, almost sort of. Okay, maybe not so much. He must have noticed me watching him because I saw his brow furrow ever so slightly. He gave me a side glance. I could almost hear him hiss, "Quit staring at me, they'll catch on." I know that! I returned his side glare, then shifted my eyes elsewhere. She's like, go to school. School ended, I returned home. I went straight to my room and settled in. Out of curiosity, I asked Kasuga a question.
春日は私がこの家に来る前からあの人たちと生活してたのよね。
Kasuga, before I moved here, you lived together with the suitors for a while, right?
ええ、そうですが。
That's correct.
タイガさんってどうだった？今より好き勝手やってたりした？
Wow, what a mean thought. Was Taiga like then? I assume he was even more self-centered and unpredictable than he is now. He smiled and shook his
いい
head.
えむしろその逆です。
Miss, he was the opposite.
逆？
Really?
何しろ個性の強い皆様ですから。それぞれのルールを優先して、この家は無法地帯寸前でした。
Indeed, everyone here has very strong personalities, as you know. They each insist on their own way of doing things. The house nearly became a creature of chaos. I can easily imagine that.
その中で唯一、共同生活におけるルールを理解していたのが、イ
Out,
スルギ様でした。
out of all of them, only Mr. Isurugi understood what had to be done for everyone to cohabitate successfully.
最低限のルールを作り、教え、衝突が起きないようにと気を配っていたのも彼です。
He devised a few rules and taught them to the others. He then proceeded to keep an eye on everyone to make sure no serious
今の
conflicts
状況
arose.
があるのはイスルギ様のおかげと言えるでしょうね。
That the four of them cooperate as well as they do now is entirely thanks to him. The scene of Taiga scolding Narita over his stolen flan replayed in my head. He similarly reined the others in like that over and over. It was almost overwhelming. He'll be a great papa, it seems.
人をからかったり意地悪をしたがる癖さえ直せばちょっとは見直してあげるのに。
If only he'd do something about his vexing habit of teasing others relentlessly, then I might be inclined to revise my opinion of him. I heaved a heavy sigh. Kasuga gave me a helpless smile.
性格はともかく、イスルギ様は周囲をよく見ておられる方ですよ。
His personality aside, Mr. Isurugi pays close attention to what's happening around him.
方々の事情にも明るく、大旦那様も信頼しておられます。
He is
そして
knowledgeable
何より、
about everyone's situation, and the master trusts him greatly. And most of all,
イスルギ様はお嬢様にとって非常に安全な方ですから。
he's a good, safe man for you to keep company with, Miss Leah. Wow, Kasuga!
それはまあタイガさんは私と結婚したくてここにいるわけじゃないし。
Well, yes, it isn't as if he came here with the intent of marrying me after all.
ええ、彼は頼りになると思いますよ。
Indeed, I believe you can rely on him. His smile was brighter this time. Now, both grandfather and Kasuga had made their approval of Taiga clear. Both of them were harsh judges of people. I knew that all too well. If that was how they saw Taiga, then perhaps I ought to change my point of view as well. Dun, 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 dun. That evening at dinner time, tonight's dinner was sushi. Temari sushi, even not sushi. Ichi explained with pride how the ingredients had been set straight to the house fresh from the source.
かわいいだろ。目にも味にも美味しい料理を目指したよ。
Didn't I make
お
the
嬢
pieces
さん
look
にぴっ
cute?
たりな。
I wanted to
Ne?
prepare a dish that looks delicious as it tastes. I think it suits Elia. What do you think? I grimaced and ignored the wink he tipped in my distraction.
でも俺この小さいお寿司だとあんまり食べた気がしないっていうか。
The pieces are so teeny, this won't fill my tummy at
う
all.
ん。僕も光り物のネタはちょっと。
I can't say I'm fond of silver-skinned fish.
もっといっぱいこうがっつり食べたいです。
I want to have more something yummy and toothsome, and most importantly, filling.
一夜、他のネタはないの？
Itsuya, don't you have any other fish? Their complaints about the meal certainly weren't stopping them from gulping it down. Ichiya glared.
これはお嬢さんのための夕食なんだ。君たちの分はあくまでついでなんだから少しは遠慮を。
I made this meal for Leah alone. Your portions were just an afterthought. Be thankful you have anything at all.
でもみんなでテーブルを囲んでるんでしょ？
But we all eat together, don't we?
そうですよ。みんなでご飯食べてるんだからみんなに優しくしてください。
Yeah, that's right. If we're gonna eat together, you should be nicer and make stuff that everyone likes. Gosh.
そんなこと言われても今出してるものしかない。
Explain all you want, but you have to see the table. But what you see on the table is what you get.
一夜さんのケチ。
Cheap state.
手まり寿司は手間がかかるんだぞ。全員分用意しただけで感謝してほしいくらいだ。
Do you have any idea how much time temari sushi takes to make me happy that I made enough for everyone in the first place?
ちょっと
Guys, taken by surprise by the rising tension at the table, I felt myself grow anxious.
ねえタイガさん。
Taiga?
なんだよ。
What?
なんだよじゃないでしょ。のんきに食べてないであの人たちを止めて。
What do you mean what? Don't just simply sit there and eat. Do something to stop them.
あ？勝手にやらせとけって。
What? If they want to vent, let them vent.
けど
But
ああ、光り物以外にも美味しいネタってたくさんあるのに全然食べられなくて残念。
what a pity. There's so many other types of delicious sushi that don't utilize silver-skinned fish. I would have eaten it all, but I can't now.
ですよね。俺まだまだ食べられるのに。
Yeah, that's right. I got way more room to eat lots more, but there isn't any.
ナユタは十分食べてるだろう。3人前は用意したっていうのに。
You've already eaten plenty, Narata. Your portion was enough for 3 people. Something has to be done about this. I took a breath and opened my mouth, ready to demand the 3 of them stop their argument, but before I could say a word...
一夜もういいだろう。そろそろ出せ。
Ichi, enough is enough. Bring him out already.
何のことかな？
I have no idea what you're talking about.
ほうなら俺が持ってきてやろうか。
Oh, I'll go get him if you don't want to.
わかった。わかったから。
Okay, I'll do it. Taiga smirked and started to stand. Ichiya hurriedly pushed him back down into his seat and disappeared into the kitchen. He then returned. He was carrying...
はあ、お稲荷さんだ。こんなにいっぱい。
Oh, and nari sushi, and so
こ
much.
れアナゴ？エビもボイルしてあるね。卵もある。
I see. Is this eel? And the shrimp is cooked? I see tamago sushi as well.
すごいすごい。一夜さん、こんなの作ってたんですか？
Wow. Ichiya, did you really make all of this?
材料が余ってただけだ。いらないなら食べなくていい。
I had leftover ingredients, that's all. If you don't want it, you don't have to eat it.
絶対食べます。最高。
I'll eat it. I'll definitely eat it. No. So yummy.
僕も。うん、美味しい。一夜は料理の腕だけはいいよね。
I never said I wouldn't eat it either. Very tasty. You're a good cook when you want to be, Ichiya.
料理の腕だけって。いいから黙って食べてくれ。
When I want to be, just shut up and eat, you two. I watched the 3 of them amazed. Taiga spoke up next to me in a bored voice.
せっかく作ってんだから普通に出せよな。
Bro, if you made the stuff, don't hold it back.
だから今回はたまたま材料が余っただけで。
I just happened to have extra on hand this once. It was a special
そ
occasion.
んなこと言って毎回なんだかんだで俺らの好物も用意しようとしてんの。バレてるぜ。
So you say. You do realize we already know that you go out of your way to make the stuff that we like, right?
そうだったんですか？俺好き嫌いないですけど、鶏の唐揚げとハンバーグが好きです。
We do? He does? I can eat anything, but I like fried chicken and hamburgers the best.
僕茶碗蒸しも食べたい。
I wouldn't mind a savory egg custard.
少しは遠慮してくれ。
I'm not a short order cook. And just like that, the 3 of them were all smiles. I gave Taiga an annoyed look.
なんでもっと早く止めなかったの？
Why didn't you stop them sooner?
いいんだよ。あれはあれで楽しんでんだから。変に止めた方がギスギスすんだろ。
They were fine. Despite their tone, they were having fun. Butting in, telling them to stop, that just would have made things weird.
でも、
But
おい一夜七味取ってくれ。
Ichiya, pass me the shimichi chili pepper.
ほら。ってタイガ。またそんな大量に。お吸い物の味がわからなくなるだろう。
What? Taiga, that much? You might as well be eating liquid fire.
俺の舌にはこれがベストなんだよ。
Pain is the flavor my tongue likes best.
まったく。
Jeez. Taiga did have a point. Despite all the rambling earlier, the atmosphere in the room didn't feel strained. If anyone had put a stop to their back and forth, it might have ramped up the tensions instead of relieving it. Taiga must have noticed me looking at him because he slid the bottle of Sumichi chili pepper to me.
お嬢もいるか？
Want some?
いりません。
No, thank you. Nah. After dinner, I sat at my desk and pulled out my homework, as was my routine, but my thoughts wandered elsewhere. An observer, Having spent the day watching Taiga, knowing his true duties here, I noticed him acting in the capacity more than once already, and looking back with an impartial eye.
お嬢が言う通り、パーティーするだけなら春日にでも頼んどきゃきっちり全部言う。でもな、それじゃダメなんだよ。少なくつまり一夜が必死になってんのも。
Yeah. I remember. I was there. The barbecue party Shortly after I first moved into the house, the one who originally proposed it was Taiga. Of course, then a dog barged in and we nearly burned the house down, turning the whole thing into a disaster. But thanks to the barbecue, I was given an opportunity to be more of my natural self. And that wasn't the only time.
ま、今のお嬢にはなあ、本音でぶつかま、お嬢にはきつかったかもしれねえけど、貴重な体験はできただろ。何も難しいことはねえ。ちょっとその好奇心大事に。
We don't do flashbacks. Did I mention that recently? In hindsight, Taiga had made a lot of subtle gestures that show he cares about me. It's not the same as the painfully obvious flirting in the other's favor, but when I was being stubborn, he always seemed to know how to budge me. When I wanted to know something, he'd tease me about it, but still teach me when I asked. I couldn't say which task he performed as his duty and which he performed on his free will, though. But this house only functioned as smoothly and as peacefully as it did because Taiga was here. At least, that's how it appeared to me. And I'm hoping we'll find out more later. Having finished my homework, I went down to the living room. As I walked in, I heard noises from the garage. Taiga. I hadn't had a chance to have a casual conversation with him since we had came back from Kamakura together. I glanced around to see if anyone was there, and then I quickly made my way into the garage. As I expected, the noise was from Taiga. He was crouched in front of his favorite motorcycle, tinkering with some gizmo or another. Strange-looking tools were scattered around him, as well as dirty rags, gaudy spray cans, and more. I let my eyes wander around in curiosity as I spoke to Taiga's back.
何してるの？
What are you doing?
んあ、お嬢か。バイクの軽いメンテをな。チェーン磨いたり、消耗品変えたり。
Oh, hey, babe. Just some light maintenance on the bike. Greasing up the chains, topping off fluids, that kind of thing.
バイクって大変なのね。
Really? Motorcycles require a lot of effort.
けど、大事にしてやればやっただけ、ちゃんと答えてくれるんだぜ。だからこっちも愛してやりたくなる。
Yeah, but the more care you put into them, the more they'll be there in your hour of need. That makes a guy want to be tender with them, you know?
そういうとこは、女と同じだな。
Kinda like with a woman. His sly glance told me clearly he was just joking around. I sighed. I honestly couldn't see relationship between women and motorcycles, but this did tell me that he was the kind of person who took good care of the people and things he considered important to him.
夕食の時のことだけど、
About dinner earlier.
あ
What about it?
うまく言い合いを止めてたでしょ？空気を悪くすることもなかったし。
You managed to effectively stop their quarreling without making things awkward.
ああ、つうか、別にあの程度、言い合いのうちにも入らねえよ。
I
ただ
wouldn't
の
say
じゃ
that
り合いだろ。
qualified as a quarrel, really. They were just messing with each other.
別に俺が止めなくたって適当なとこで流してたと思うぜ。あいつらもそこまでバカじゃねえし。
Even if I hadn't stepped in, I figured they would have let it drop when they got everything out of their systems. They aren't complete idiots.
そういうもの？
You think so?
ま、男同士だからな。お嬢が気にするから口挟んだだけで、そうでなきゃほっとくさ。
Yeah. They were just nipping at each other, you know. You seemed upset about it, so I butted in, that's all. If you hadn't been there, maybe I would have stayed out.
私にはよくわからない。
I'm not sure I understand.
だろうな。別にそれでもいいだろう。そのうち慣れるって。
Probably not. You'll figure it out for yourself sooner or later. Taiga made it sound like it was nothing, but it wasn't nothing to me. And that difference could probably be chalked up to having lived with others versus not having
だ
to.
から監視役なのかも。
That's why he's keeping an eye on us then.
あ しっかり覚えとけよ。テストに出るぜ。
After watching him for a day, my first thought was...
意外としっかり周りを見てるんだなって思ったの。
I was saying that surprisingly you really are paying attention to everyone. Taiga kept tinkering with his motorcycle as he shot a nonchalant answer over his
じい
shoulder.
さんに頼まれたことだしな。一度やるって引き受けた仕事は最後まで責任持って付き合うぜ。
Well, Gramps asked me to do it. When I say I'll do a job, I see the job all the way through to the end. That's just the responsible thing to do, right?
代わりの婚約者ごっこのこともね。
I'll put my all into fiance act 2. That's it. Just pretend to be my fiance slash husband in the future because I'm 15 and we can't get married right now. And then you can just keep doing that until one of us dies. And then if you die, I'll continue to be loving wife. But if I die, you can just tell them it was all a facade. Everything was fake. You never really cared. It'll be fine. Good. For someone who had practically carved his own groove into the couch, he actually seemed
私
dependable.
生活ももっとちゃんとしたらいいのに。
If only you could be that responsible about the rest of your life. I slathered my words with sarcasm. Taiga turned around and smirked.
安心しろ。ダラダラしてるように見えて、お嬢のこともバッチリ監視してるから。
Don't worry, babe. I may look like I'm just goofing around, but trust me, I'm paying very close attention to everything you do.
監視役の義務だろ？
It's my duty as observer, you know.
私のことはいいの。
You
もっ
don't
と
have to
他に
watch that
見るべきこ
closely.
とがあるでしょ。
There's so many other things you should be paying attention
はい
to.
はい、そうかもな。
Yeah, sure. The moment of seriousness gone, Taiga reverted back to his normal self. I sighed, muttering an
最
anyway.
初はすごく失礼で横暴でわがままで意地悪な人だと思ったけど。
First, I thought you were a rude, bossy, selfish, and mean-spirited jerk.
言いたい放題だな。
That's some nice adjectives you picked.
でもちゃんと考えてみたらタイガさんの行動はみんなにとって必要なことばかりだって。
But having given it some thought, I realized that everything you do, no matter how coarse it first seems, is what everyone needs in that moment.
だか
And
ら少し見直したの。
I have since revised my opinion of you. Slightly. I finally said what I'd wanted to say and he heard me, I think. But for some strange reason, this is embarrassing. I turned away, unable to bear looking at him. Taiga's brow furrowed and he peered at me, worried.
お嬢、なんか変なもんでも食ったか？
Babe, you okay? You're not about to puke, are you?
誰がよ。
What's that supposed to mean? I just started to think better of him. Ugh. Why must he always be so crass? I glared at him disapprovingly, but he just laughed. He was clearly enjoying himself. I sighed and shook my head. After a moment's thought, I spoke up
でも
again.
味方ができてよかったわ。これからは協力者としてよ
I'm
ろしく。
glad I have a real ally now. I look forward to cooperating with you in the future. Taiga's lips quirked up in a lopsided grin as he rubbed a hand on his pants to wipe off his grime. Holding out his right hand, he
こっち
said,
こそ。よろしくな。
Same here, babe. Same here. I nodded, reached out to shake his hand, but quick as a blink, Taiga's filthy left hand closed around mine in a tight, oily grip. Sticky, smelly, pitch black grease engulfed my palm.
ちょっとなんでそっちの手にしたのよ。話しなさい。
Why'd you switch hands? Let's go! Your left hand's gross!
まあまあ、遠慮すんなって。俺らの仲だろ？
Aw, come on. Don't be silly. Don't be shy. What's a little grease or grime between
どんな
allies?
仲よ。いいから話しなさいって
Are
ば。
you serious? Let me go already. Ooh. Having another ally on the inside was heartening. It made me feel so much better. I understood now that Taiga was a responsible human being under his rough exterior. On that front, at least, I could say that choosing him as a temporary fiancé was the right decision. But why does he always have to tease me? She'll never get over it. Dang, that was a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be. Oh goodness. I somehow convinced myself that we were on the other option already. Older Frenemy, a frenemy.
I
flopped onto my bed and stared up at the ceiling as I ventured a heavy sigh. This was hard, so stupidly hard. Things got complicated after I was picked as her fiance. I waited for the babe and Kasuga to leave the meeting room before I turned a glare on Gramps.
で、なんで俺が仮の婚約者？しかもなんであんな簡単に許した？
So, explain why I'm tangled up in this temporary fiance business again. How could you let this happen?
面白いと思ったからじゃ。
Because the very idea amuses me. Gramps was unrepentant. I rubbed my throbbing forehead.
面白いってあんたな。あいつはあんたの孫だろ。
You're amused? Are you serious? She's your granddaughter, you know?
そうじゃな。だからこそ信頼のおけるお前に託そうとして何が悪い？
That she is. And what's wrong with leaving her in the hands of someone I trust as much as you?
な持ち上げたってごまかされねえぞ。
Flattery ain't gonna help you here,
本
Gramps.
心じゃぞ。わしはお前のことも孫同然に可愛く思っておるからの。
It was an honest remark. You are a grandson to me.
はあ？
What?
なんせこんな小さな悪ガキの頃から見てきておるから
I've known
の。
you since you were a cheeky little monkey after all.
なんだよ急に。どうした？
Why are you bringing that up all of a sudden? Gramps ignored my remark. His eyes looked far away as he started to ramble down memory lane.
そういえば昔のお前はよく木の上におった。確か最初に会った時も。
Are we gonna have a flashback inside a flashback inside a flashback? Speaking of monkeys, you always did like climbing trees as a child. I want to say you were at the top of one when we first met.
ずいぶん高いところまで登って一心に遠い場所を見つめておったな。
You climbed quite high and you were staring out across the
そ
horizon.
んなお前を見て正直なところ自分の家を見つけようとしておるのか親の姿でも探しておるのかと思った。
I thought for certain that you were searching for your home or hoping your both parents would come over the horizon or something like that.
何をしておると聞いて帰ってきた言葉には驚かされた。
That's why when I asked you what you were doing, your answer took me by surprise.
自分の知らないものがある場所を探していたなんてかっこよすぎじゃろ。
You said you were looking for places full of things you didn't know. How's that for an unastute remark from a child, no less? The wistful note in Gramps' voice triggered an emotion I didn't recognize, leaving me too flustered to retort.
寂しくはないのかと聞けば
He's blushing.
親には親の人生がある。俺は自分の人生を存分に楽しむなんての。
When I asked you if you were lonely, you said your parents had their lives and you had yours and you were going to enjoy yours to the fullest. Do you remember?
わしはあの時からずっとお前を面白いやつじゃと思っておる。
I knew on the spot that you were an
大物に
interesting
なる
kid.
かもな。
I could tell that someday you would become someone of note. Seriously, where did this come from all of a sudden? Usually, we just shot the breeze over stupid, pointless stuff, had a good laugh, and that was it. What was this trip down memory lane? And saying he thinks of me as a grandson? Is he serious? And why the hell do I suddenly feel so stupidly embarrassed?
さっきの様子を見る限り、小娘ともうまく打ち解けておったじゃろう。
From your earlier conversation, I take that you at least get along with Leah reasonably well.
どうじゃいっそのこと本気であの小娘と結婚してわしの孫にならんか。
Why not try courting her for real? Marry her and truly become my grandson.
何抜かしてんだ頭大丈夫か？
The hell, old man, are you going
な
senile?
んじゃあれじゃ不満か。確かにちっと可愛げはないが。
Is my progeny not good enough for you? Granted, she's not always a bundle of charm.
そういうことじゃねえって。
Not what I mean.
可愛い孫同士が結婚してくれれば わしも安心なんじゃがのう。
It'd be lovely if the two people dearest to me get married, though. Like, come on.
ああ、もういい、わかった。また報告しに来る。
Ah, enough. Alright, that does it. I'll see you the next time I have a report. Bye. Bye. I couldn't make myself sit through this embarrassing crap any longer. I got up and left the room without a backwards glance. I'd marry Gramps for his money. He's not bad looking. No, he's not bad looking at all. And you know what? Yeah. Yes. Why not? Give him another grandchild. Give him, well, actually, it'd be a child. Give him another child so he could have another grandchild, so that there's another child that could have children, and that way he's not reliant on this one child who apparently has a lot of trauma. Give him a break. I couldn't make myself sit through the embarrassing crap any longer. I got up and left the room without a backwards glance. That was close. If I had stuck around there any longer, I might have been roped into becoming a suitor for real. I leaned against the wall at the gate and took a moment to collect myself. Can't be too careful around that sly old dude. No matter how skeptical you were about his ideas, he found ways to bring you around before you noticed you were being manipulated. The man had a strange charisma about him, almost like a power that let him change people's minds. Guess that's not so surprising considering how much success he brought to the Tojo family. Despite his talent, though, I doubt even he could gourd her into a marriage she didn't want. He was just messing with us today, that's all. He had a weird sense of humor sometimes. So for all his talk about wanting me as a real grandkid, it was still all up to how the babe felt. And with that thought, I let out a sharp chuckle. Sorry, Gramps, I've got enough going on without getting signed up for your true grandson. I mean, she's clearly not romantically interested in me, even though she did pick me as her temporary fiancé.
でもちゃんと考えてみたらタイガさんの行動はみんなにとって必要なことばかりだ。だから。
いや、ねえよ。絶対にねえ。
No. There's no way in hell. Plus, he likes to talk about knockers a lot, and I'm gonna say it right now. She's been embarrassed multiple times. Put another way, I basically gone from the kid she couldn't stand in class to just another one of the guys. That was all. There couldn't be anything else at work. No way. It just wasn't happening. Damn it, what a pain in the butt. And thanks to Gramps outing me as the man on the inside, now I had to work as her collaborator
勘
too.
弁してくれよな。あいつらの暴走を止めるだけでも一苦労だってのに。
Like I don't have my hands full trying to keep those three gorillas in line. I inhaled deeply inside. Suddenly,
タイガさん、俺来週お嬢さんをテニスに誘おうと思ってるんですけど。
Taiga! I'm thinking about inviting Leah to come play tennis with me next week,
ノッ
but
クぐらいしろバカ。つか取り込み中だ。さっさと出てけ。
knock first, you moron. I'm in the middle of something, so get out of here.
ああ、寝てるだけじゃん。
I thought you were just napping. I cut off Narita mid-sentence by slamming the door in his face. It was impossible to reflect quietly in this madhouse. I don't know where my brain took that from. Not that thinking and worrying would help much. I had no choice but to follow the plan for now. Wait, Blue, did you get your
マジ
game?
めんどくせえ。覚えてるよ、じいさん。
Did you get your game? Are you one of the lucky ones, Blue? And you now are a proud owner of 9 RIP? Or is yours also one that's coming soon? What a pain in the ass. I'll get you for this, Gramps. I don't see something on the Discord. I was like, wait, what's that say? Not the news I was hoping for. Mine's is coming when it says it was Tuesday. Well, Ray's is coming in on the 21st, so... And mine's, I hope, arrives tomorrow. It just might not be in time for me to stream. ultimate safe spot. Interesting. Still waiting for the butts.
秘
Oh
密
my-
を共有す
really?
る二人はいつもドキドキハラハ
How wonderfully
ラ。吊り
exciting.
橋効果でレッツロマンス。
Two souls sharing a secret, two hearts beating as one, the thrill of danger, the thrill of forbidden love.
つむぎ、今の話聞いてた？
Were you listening to me at all? She threw a sugary grin at me, my exasperated question.
もちろん。イスルギさんは監視役なのでしょ？
It arrived at the post office yesterday morning, but was too late to be sorted for the delivery. And that day, since today's a holiday, it's going to be delivered tomorrow. You're the reason I double checked, actually, if there was a chance mine would still arrive. So there's a chance, because according to the internet, which I can't always trust, FedEx should be delivering packages today, and it was supposed to come via FedEx. So we'll find out. I'm gonna bug them and see. You've learned Mr. Isurugi is an observer on the inside, is that correct?
そう。彼は肌婿候補じゃないの。つまりロマンスはなし。
Oh gosh. Correct, he isn't one of my suitors. That means there's no forbidden love or whatever between us.
ではそういうことにしておきますわね。
UPS was like, you can wait one more day. The thing was, like, a lot of stuff has been arriving late. And honestly, I should have considered it being a possibility at my job. But, like, if it arrives tomorrow, there's a chance it won't arrive until, like, 3 in the afternoon. Which means my concert's at, like, 7. If I get the game at 3 in the afternoon... traffic. Gotta get ready for the concert. Like, there's just I'll be better off just playing something else, which hurts my feelings. Wait. Oh my gosh, I just asked if they got packages today and he just said packages just got arrived. You say so, madam, if you say so. Doesn't mean it's in there. Just to be clear, it's not a guarantee. But you reminded me to remind myself to mention it. Oh my god. So there's a chance I might have 9 RIP tomorrow, which I was again planning to do a 9-hour stream. So I was gonna do the math on what time we want to be at our concert by. No. My package is at a store. Possibly, and it's still a maybe. Because I'm picking mine up at a store. So if it's arrived, that means I can play it tomorrow early, which is what my dream is. That's all. That's all we're at. We're gonna find out soon. But there's a chance it's not in there. But if there's no packages, there's 0 chance, which means I won't see it. See, the packages just got dropped off at said store right now. This is the time they'd be dropped off tomorrow too. So that's how I know there was a chance I wouldn't be playing it tomorrow. I heaved a deep sigh. Sumigi started to speak. Her voice was calm, but her smile stayed on her lips.
でもこれは天が味方してますわよ。きっとイスルギさんはこれから大いにあなたを助けてくださるはず
Lady Luck is clearly on your side. I'm certain Mr. Isurugi will be a very big help for you going forward.
どうしてそう思うの？
What makes you think
だ
that?
ってイスルギさんが監視役だと聞いて私はとても腑に落ちましたもの。確かに彼は適任者だと。
When I heard he was an observer, it made complete sense to me. He is indeed the perfect candidate for that kind of job.
ですからあなたの協力者としてもきっと立派に働いてくださいますわ。
I'm gonna play the Genso Manija demo. Ooh hoo hoo! Let me know if it's good. Let me know if the bunny comes up instead of 9 RIP. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But maybe your package will arrive early tomorrow. Like, when does your mail usually come in? See, me knowing when my mail usually comes in at said store is how I was like, oh, there's a chance I won't be playing it tomorrow if it doesn't arrive today. He ought to be wonderful at collaborator for you as well. First grandfather, then Kasuga, now Tsumugi, believed Taiga was worth trusting. I can understand why, but it's complicated.
そんな
12 before,
に
see?
悩まずともせっかく協力者ができたんですもの遠慮なく頼ればいいんですわ
You needn't overthink things, really. You now have an ally you can count on. Why the hesitation to rely on him? I see where you're coming from. That is not what she said. This is not... That, like, why are you doing that? Why are you making it so much more? That's just a... Reluctantly, I nodded with her. But I've never been terribly good at relying on others. I wasn't certain I could do it easily now. But it'll be 2:40. No, it has to be 6:30. No, that's too late. Sorry, 3. No, that'd be 4 o'clock. I can't math right now. I saw someone show a meme about their 9 RIP copy on Otome Reddit. Their copy is coming in 10 to 12 days. They're mad at Amazon. Oh no! Well, Ray had a similar issue because Ray said she pre-ordered it late, and so when she pre-ordered it, it was still considered pre-order shipping time. Another jump scare. It's probably because my sound's so low. Hear me out. I turn sounds down because I don't like them being loud. Thus, my sounds are quieter than probably ads. After dinner that night, I was enjoying a cup of tea when... I know it's October, but jump scares. Shion glided... Oh wait, did I accidentally hit that wrong? I think I accidentally made that forever. Yeah, I accidentally clicked on making that never go away. That was going to be there forever. Xian glided up beside me, silent as a shadow, and sat next to me as if he belonged at my side. He does, though.
今度の休みエステに行かない？おすすめのサロンがあるんだ。
On your next day off, how about you come with me to a spa? I know a lovely salon.
ああ、ダメですよ。今週こそは俺がお嬢さんとサッカー見に行くんですから。
You can't do that, Xion. This time I was finally gonna take Leah out to watch a soccer game.
おいおい君たち。俺が明日の朝ごはんの仕込みをしてる最中に抜け駆けとはね。
Whoa, how's that? This fair. Both of you know I'm getting ready for tomorrow's breakfast. How dare you try to get a leg up on me while I'm busy.
彼女は今週俺とドライブデートをする予定なんだ。
Besides, I'll have you know that she's going for a drive with me this weekend. Okay, nobody even, like, said a question to her except for Xion. Go with Xion. I never agreed to any such things. I already sick of being pushed around. I slowly shook my head.
今週はダメ予定があるから
Not this weekend. I already have plans.
じゃあ
Boys, I will drop kick you. When are you free then? Huh?
サッカーがダメなら野球でもいいです。
If you don't like soccer, we can watch a baseball game.
そうじゃなくて
That isn't what I meant.
休日が無理なら放課後でも構わないよ。
If your weekends are full after school would work too. It was distressingly clear they were going to keep pushing and pushing until I caved and said yes. I desperately projected a quiet wish for help. And right that moment I remembered what Tsumugi had said to me. Girls say
そんなに悩まずとも
Yeah, just say no. Just say no. Say you're gonna hang out with Sumigi. I just remembered Sumigi. I'm gonna hang out with Sumigi this weekend. That's it.
ん
If I stroke, in a stroke of good luck, Taiga walked by, his brow suddenly furrowed as if he scented trouble. Then our eyes met and I said,
私タイガさんと約束してるから。
I already have plans with Taiga.
おい、お嬢。
Babe. I quickly got up and tried to slide behind Taiga.
お嬢
Leah.
本当よ。本当にタイガさんと予定があるの。
It's true. We have
タイガ
plans.
さん。
Isn't it right, Taiga? This is stupid. This is unnecessary.
えお
Sure.
ほら。
See? It sounded incredibly forced, but it took only a second before Taiga caught on and nodded slightly. While I felt immediate relief, the other threes promptly pounced on him.
タイガいつの間に
Taiga, when did you?
ずるいですよ。お嬢さん独り占めして。
That's no fair. Taiga, keeping Leah all to yourself?
ふんタイガもやるよね。俺はいいんだみたいなこと言ってたのに。
That's quite smooth, I admit, especially after all your declarations that you weren't going to bother.
いや、待て、落ち着け、おい。
Whoa, guys, calm down, really.
じゃあ私はこれで。
Ah, well then, I'll just be on my way.
って、おい、ちょっと、おい。
Well, come back. Oh. I have to admit, where the heck? Oh gosh, I've guessed the Twilight zoom in. I have to admit, this felt less like relying on him and more like I threw him under the bus, especially since you could have said the same thing about Sumigi, or your other friends, or anything. I paused a moment to glance back at the living room and offer a silent apology. I'm sorry, Taiga. I left the rest up to you. And I'm gonna take a walk outside now. 2 hours later, with my homework done for the night, I started to grow curious about how everything had turned out. I quietly slipped downstairs. First off, he should have just not agree. Will they all be in the living room? I thought about walking in, but I hesitated when I realized I had no idea what to expect. I simply opened the door a crack and peeked in first.
何やってんだ
And what are you up to, huh? Startled, I rolled around to see Taiga, a deep scowl on his face. Ah, he's mad.
さっきはごめんなさい。
I'm sorry about earlier.
おお、大変な目に遭わされたぜ。投げっぱなしで放置かまされてな。
You better be. After you dumped me to the lions and ran, they worked me over.
反省はしてます。
I'm really, really sorry. I regret doing it. Really, I do. I kept apologizing, and eventually his scowl lifted into a wary
あい
grin.
つらの勢いで詰め寄られて、対処に困るのはまあわかるけどよ。いきなりは勘弁してくれ。
He's too nice. Oh no, he's too nice for us. I can understand getting overwhelmed when all 3 of them descend on you like that. Just give a man some warning first, would ya?
ま、今回は貸しにしといてやる。
You owe me for that. Got it?
ありがとう。
Thank you. I mumbled the words softly. He reached out and plopped his open palm on top of my head.
一応協力してやるとは言ったしね。たまになら風よけになってやってもいい。たまにならね。
I did say I'd help you. I don't mind if you use me as a shield every once in a while. Note my emphasis on once in a while.
あいつらまだリビングにいるし、今夜このまま部屋に戻って寝ちまえ。
The others are still hanging out in the living room. You should just go upstairs and hit the hay. And with that, he turned and made his way up the stairs to his own room. That was unexpected. I automatically put my hand on the spot where Taiga had touched my head. My cheeks started to grow hot. I started to realize that why everyone said that he was someone who could be relied on. Looking back, I realized I had probably overestimated his role as a protector. Wait, what?
さすがにこれは頼りすぎよね。そう思わない？紬。
I feel like I might have be overdoing it a little. What do you think, Tsumigi? I vented my concern to Tsumigi when we next talked on the phone. She chuckled.
でもイスルギさんも協力者になると言ってくださったわけですし
I'm gonna be so real with you. Yeah, sure, he agreed, but you could have done better. Are you relying on him for... Mr. Isurugi did agree to be your collaborator, did he not? And you're only relying on him for minor issues, right? Minor issues. Feeling very awkward, I thought back over the last few days.
お嬢さん、いいところに。君のために新作スイーツを作ったんだ。いろいろあるからぜひ味見してくれ。
See, I continue to hate you so much. Your timing's perfect. I just made a new pastry recipe just for you. I've added a few of my own touches to go ahead and sample it.
トッピングも盛りだくさんでね。チョコやキャラメルクリーム、生クリームにマーマレード。
I made sure to add plenty of toppings too. There's chocolate, caramel, whipped cream, marmalade. Oh my god, he made a dessert chimera.
さあ、遠慮せずに。
Go on, take a bite.
タイガさん味見してあげて
Taiga, you taste it for him.
は？
Huh?
お嬢さんお嬢さん、フライングディスク持ってきました。一緒に遊びましょう。
Leah, guess what? I finally got that ball we talked about at the barbecue. Now we can play catch together.
運動不足のタイガさんがやりたいって
Taiga said he needs more exercise. He'll do it.
は？
What? Why? Yeah, stop avoiding them.
小鳥ちゃん、デザイナーの友人からドレスが送られてきたんだ。君に似合うと思うから試着して。
Leah, a friend of mine is a designer and sent me this lovely dress. I think it would look exquisite on you. Why not try it on?
タイガさんの方が似合うと思う
I think it'd look better on Taiga.
は？
Wait just a damn minute. Oh god, girl, no.
それはまた
My goodness.
完全に頼り癖がついちゃっていけないと思ってはいても気づくとタイガさんの名前をね
It practically has become habit now, running to him for every little thing. I know I oughtn't, but I say his name before I can stop myself. All the little annoyances I tossed on Taiga were starting to erode his soul too. He was looking weary. I
情
feel
けない
so bad. I mumbled my thoughts into the phone. Sumigi's soft chuckle crackled from the other
あな
side.
たは普段から誰かを頼るということをしませんから頼れる方を見つけて気が緩んだのですわ
You aren't accustomed to have anyone there to lean on. Now that you've found someone, you're practically letting him carry you piggyback.
でもだからってこんな何度もさすがに怒られても仕方ないわ
Yes, but for so many things, this often, he has every right to be livid with me.
きっとイスルギさんはそこまで気にしてないと思いますわよ
I'm sure Mr. Usurigi doesn't mind it nearly as much as you think.
そうえ嫌ならば嫌だと言って無視すれば済む話ですもの
Mm-mm.
イスルギさんはそういう方でしょ
That's not how people pleasers work. If he didn't want to, he would say as much and then ignore you. That is the sort of gentleman he is, correct? You should be that person. If you didn't want to do something, you should say as much or ignore them. She had a point. Whenever I go to him, Taiga would look surprised, but he never said it bothered him. Well, he doesn't want to be rude. Even if Tsumigi did have a point, I was still being rude and inconsiderate of his time and
やっ
energy.
ぱりちゃんと謝る
I think I'm gonna apologize to him. I answered Tsumigi after a moment of thought. I could almost feel her smile through the
頑張っ
phone.
てくださいませ
Best of luck to you then, madam.
Mm.
Thanks. Easier said than done. How was I supposed to deliver my apology this time, at this hour? It was already close to midnight. If I'm going to do this, what I need to do is my mind nod over the matter, leaving me wide awake despite the hour. I'm going to get a glass of water and try and relax. And he's going to be there because he's a night owl. It was unlikely anyone would be in the living room at that late at night, or I thought I was very wrong. Collapsed on the couch face down, looking for all the world like he'd been lying there since the start of time.
Taiga.
Taiga. I said his name, but he didn't so much as twitch. He seemed to be completely exhausted. I'm so sorry. Feeling horrible, I grabbed a throw blanket that was lying nearby. I can do this for him at least. I knew it wasn't nearly enough by way of apology, but I carefully laid it over him as I did so. I ran.
Oju.
Babe. Oju. Is that... Back to needing this in Japanese. That's not babe.
ごめんなさい。起こすつもりじゃ。
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to wake you.
ああ、いい。ここで寝るつもりじゃなかったし。つかこれ、かけてくれたのか?
It's fine. I wasn't planning on spending the night down here anyway. Did you put the blanket on me?
風ひきそうだったから。
Also, I read one chapter on Common Route. Took me less than 30 minutes, but I also skipped through the voice lines. I also do my games in fast mode. Sometimes I'll even just start skipping dialogue when I feel like it's dragging. So, but you know, I did the Common Route. Like an asterisk. I did the first chapter. It didn't take too long to get to the sub chapters. We'll see. I mean, I doubt we'll get through a whole route in one stream. You skipped voice lines? I know, that's how I feel right there. I was like, whoa, you didn't even get to listen to them speak. Hola, hola. I didn't want you to catch a cold.
Soka.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, he said thank you, thank you.
Soka. Thank you.
Saying thanks first. I'm the one who ought to be thanking him.
ごめんなさい。あの人たちのことを押し付けて。
I'm really sorry about, you know, dumping them in your lap all the time.
迷惑かけすぎて疲れちゃったんでしょ。
I've caused you so much grief and it's completely worn you out, hasn't it? My voice was meek as I apologized. Taiga grinned tiredly.
たまにならとは言ったけどね。
Voice lines are too slow for Speed McQueen. Oh goodness. I said I didn't mind helping every once in a while though, yeah? He might be going a bit overboard.
あいつらお嬢になんかしたかもって軽く落ち込んでたぞ。悪気がないのは分かってんだろ。
Can we casually dump ourselves onto his lap? You know, I don't... Honestly, he seems like he's fine with the ladies. I don't know if he would care. Out of all the four guys, the one... Actually, how did he react? Hang on, how did he react when the girl was flirting with him? He passed the test, but like... Did he... I've got thoughts. The guys are convinced they did something to tick you off. They're getting kind of depressed. You know they aren't trying... You know they aren't trying to be mean, right? Yeah.
明日あの人たちにちゃんと謝る。それにタイガさんにもこれ以上
I'll apologize to them all tomorrow, and I'm gonna do my best to stop leaning on you too.
いや、それはいいっつうか、
You don't really have to go that far, you know? It's
別にいいんだよ。俺も珍し
I
くお
kicked
嬢
the
に頼
desk
られ
just
て、つ
crossed
い
my
甘や
leg.
かしちまったし。
It's not usually my stick, but when you keep coming to me, I couldn't help but want to kind of spoil you a bit. What? Huh? The answer took me by surprise. I looked up to find Taiga grinning back
な
at
んつ
me.
うか、懐かねえ猫が懐いた感じ？あんま頼ったりしなかったろ、今まで。だからこう、なんか新鮮でさ。
It's kind of feels like when that cat that doesn't like anybody suddenly curls up in your lap. You haven't leaned on others much before, so this feels sort of cool.
猫
Cat?
私が
Me?
似てんだろ。それに、そもそもお嬢はどっか危なっかしいんだよ。
Passenger princess vibes. Yeah, you are. Don't deny it. Besides, it always seems like your foundations are a bit
し
shaky.
っかりしてそうに見えてすぐパニックになるし、抜けてるし、顔に出るわ、今日出るわ。
You look like you got it together, but you panic way easily. You're spacey, you do dumb things, you let all your emotion show on your face, clear as a bell. Okay. Sounds like he's taking this as an excuse to vent.
だからまあ仕方ねえなって。俺はこういう立場だし、お嬢が気軽に頼れる相手ではあるだろう。
So yeah, I figure it is just what it is then. I mean, it's pretty much my job anyways. I'll be that guy you can go for any little thing.
でも
But
どうしても無理な時は言うからさ。あんま気にすんな。しんどい時は遠慮しねえで頼れって話。
if I really can't, I'll tell you. Did he put on the dress? I want to know. Taiga in a dress, please. Don't worry. All I'm trying to say here is that if stuff is really getting to you, you can lean on me, Kay.
タイガさん
Taiga.
ま、欲を言や、もう少し頻度は考えてほしいけどな。さすがに疲れた。
So if I'm gonna be greedy, can I ask you to cut back on your request a bit? Even I'm getting a titch tired out.
わかってる
I realized that much. He was being jokey about it, but if I seriously asked for help, I doubt that he would say no. That's just the kind of person he was. I felt warmth creep up on my cheeks again. Mustering up my courage, I
あり
mumbled,
がとう
thanks.
お、おう。
Oh, they're both blushing now. Sure.
私も味方がいてくれて心強いって
It's
思ってるから
it's very reassuring to know I have an ally, so
これからもよろしく
I hope we can continue working together. With my gratitude finally expressed in a satisfactory manner, I couldn't help but smile.
なんかすっきりしたわもう寝る
Was something you I said it. That's how it said. There, I feel much better. I think I'll go to bed. Good night.
ああ、おやすみ。
Yeah, night. And then she ran away. And then she was dead.
くっそ。その顔、卑怯すぎんだろ。
Ah ha ha! How am I supposed to resist that kitty cat face? Ooh hoo hoo. Yay. A whist message.
愛のメッセージ受け取って
Alright.
くれた
Did you apologize? Did you give your apologies to Mr. Isurugi? Sort of. He wasn't mad, I'm sure. He wasn't. But he said if I really need to, I could still go to him. Oh my, he did. What a manly thing to say. How good for you. He was so rude though. He said it was like trying to coax a cat to like him. Really, I have to say, I know where he is coming from. When you finally decide to be friends with me, I felt that very same way. Even you, Tsundere? All he's saying is that he thinks you're that cute. I'm sure of it. Oh, could this be romance? It is not. I don't think. If you say so, we'll leave it at that for now. Ugh. I'm going to bed. I'll see you at school. Alright, good night. Pleasant dreams.
お役立ち機能とかねえのかよ。
Are you Tsundere? Alright, hang on. I have to see. I might have to. This might be my last chapter for a second. Because we might have to run an errand. Tsundere! Are you Tsundere? This was bad. Really, really capital B bad. So I've been outed to the babe as the observer. I guess it's not so bad, really. I was getting used to the idea of being her temporary fiance, too. And since I knew what was going on, it made sense that she would come to me if she needed help. But I did not expect her to open up to me this much, not in the least. I didn't want to do a chore right now. I actually just want to play this game, but I have things. I have IRL issues. Which all started this weekend. Days earlier, the guys were bickering over who got to spend time with her again, so I just hung back. That day, they happened to be going at it harder than usual, and I could see her getting flustered. Right as I figured it was time to step in and break up the disagreement, our eyes met.
私、タイガさんと約束してるから。
I already have plans with Taiga. The real question is, if I do a BRB for 30 minutes, should I end stream or literally put it on the BRB screen for 30 minutes? Probably end stream, but the look on her face right then. I'm saved, the Calvary is here expression that practically beamed from her eyes. It was kinda a vulnerable look, defenseless. It was a look I realized only I'd got to see. That's why I let her get away with throwing me under the bus again and again. End stream. No, I don't want to end stream. I want to be here. Chair stream though. Just the seat behind me. Put like a plushie in the seat. Who would turn their back on her when she was so helpless? Anyone would have rescued her. And then there was the other night.
ありがとう。
One-on-one with Chair-kun. Chair-kun, how do you feel about your master not knowing how to actually fix you, and you weren't broken and she called you broken but she was wrong? Do you know how easy it was to fix it? Okay, so the issue I had was I was trying to lean forward. It's over here. There's a thing. Hang on. There's a switch over here. You push it down. To activate, I'm like, I can't. It's not working. You have to push back first, and then it lets you lean forward. And then you have to find the position you want to be in and then lock it before you stop. I wasn't pushing back first. And I thought it was broken. Anyways.
これからも
I was just like, it's not working. It's not letting. I had to push back first. I was trying to go forward, so I wasn't pushing back because it was as far back as it could go. And I was like, oh. Oh my god. It's just because I hadn't changed the seat in so long, I forgot. Somebody ought to make that expression illegal. That out of character meek apology, the slumped shoulders and dejected look. And to top it all off, that blush. She was almost always cool and aloof. Did she show me that side? The side she only reveals to people she trusts? The more I thought about it, the more Whoa, hold it, me. That was bad. Very, very bad. I could already tell I was trapped in a scenario that belonged in a romance manga, swayed by emotions I'd fall. I have to be careful to make sure I don't get any closer to her than I need to. Right as I was telling myself that.
Taiga さん、すみません。
Taiga, I'm sorry. Is he gonna kill him?
おい、なゆた
Dun 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 dun. I had no chance to resist. Narita dashed in for God knows what reason, picked me up and hauled me away.
って何なんだよ一体。なゆた、人を運ぶならもっと丁寧に扱え。
Oh damn, what the hell is this, Narita? If you're gonna carry a guy, at least don't crush him.
すまないね。緊急招集だったんだ。
Sorry, Taiga, we called an emergency meeting.
なん
The
だそれ。
hell? Ichiya and Shion stood in front of me looking weirdly solemn. I looked back, not bothering to hide my surprise. Narita was there too, as Narita as ever.
おい、マジで何の冗談。
Seriously, guys, if this is some kind of joke,
ねえタイガ、小鳥ちゃんと何かあった？
be honest, did something happen between you and Leah?
あ？
最近彼女の様子がおかしいんだ。
She's been acting
何を
weird
言っても
lately.
タイガに振るし、
If I say anything to her, she promptly pushes the conversation onto you and runs.
一緒に運動しましょうって言っても、すぐタイガさんを誘ってって言うんですよ。
If I ask her to exercise me, she says I should ask you
これは
instead.
さすがに変だと思ってタイガーを尋問することにしたんだ。
It's really odd, so it makes sense to interrogate you about it.
尋問って。
Interrogate? Really, guys? I made a show of rolling my eyes, but I was nervous. Yeah, with as obvious as she was being, even these geniuses would eventually catch on. I thought hard about how I was going to worm out of this, Shion clearly skeptical asked.
それで小鳥ちゃんについて何か思い当たることはないの？
Bum, bum, bum. Do you have any idea what might have prompted Leah's strange behavior?
特にねえよ。
Not
つか
really.
気のせいじゃね
You sure you weren't overreacting?
俺たちだってそこまで鈍感じゃないさ。タイガー、正直に言ってくれ。
We aren't that dense, Taiga. Something's up. Just be honest with us, okay?
もしかしてお嬢さんに何か頼まれたりしているのかい？
Did Leah ask you to do this for
誘い
some
を断
reason?
る口実になってほしいとか。
Did she turn you into a scapegoat so she can run so whenever she wants to get out of spending time with
え。
us?
な覚えねえよ。
Hell
だとした
no!
らその逆？僕たちの誘いに戸惑ってる彼女を助けてあげたくなったとか。
Is it the reverse then? Have you observed how our invitations confuse her and chose to step in for some reason?
だから。
No, really, guys,
だってタイガさん怪しいです。
But you're just acting so weird, Taiga.
そうだ。何もないのにお嬢さんが俺の誘いを断るわけがない。
When you say that, it implies that you've gone on a date with her, and you have not. There's no way that Leah would ever turn down a date with me, not unless something was up.
いや、一夜がスルーされるのはいつものことだと思うけどね。
Actually, I believe it's common for her to ignore your very existence.
あ、そんなバカな。
No, isn't.
とにかく隠し事は良くないと思うな。ねえ、タイガ。
I cannot abide. Nix! I again. Oh gosh. To keep secret in situations like this, don't you agree, Taiga? Now what? I could only blow them off for so long. I thought for a quick second and then sighed as if I was giving up. Hair's looking nice. Oh, thank
言
you!
うよ。言えばいいんだろ。
It was a few hours in a chair. It's bleeding really
お
bad,
嬢
but
からの
I think it's so pretty.
罰だ。
It looks blue on camera, but it's purple in real life. I'll tell you, babe decided I need to be punished. There, happy now?
罰つまりお仕置き？
Punish
なんです
you?
かそれ羨ましい。
Punished you? No way! How's that fair? I'm beyond jealous.
ナユタ、
I
ちょ
was
っと
thinking
黙
of
って
doing my hair again. Ooh, what color were you thinking of doing?
どういうこと？
Not a tap. Be a good boy and be silent for a moment. Taiga explained.
この前、ちょっとお嬢を怒らせてな。虫の居所が悪かったのか、なかなか機嫌直んなくてさ。
I kind of overdid it and ticked her off. I must have put her in a real sour mood because I couldn't get her to lighten up. Red or blue? Ooh, So I've had blue. Like, actually, I've had blue that looks like the blue this camera is picking up before because I wanted to look like Coraline. So I do like that. Unless you're doing like a pastel, in which case I think that's even cute. Like if it looks like this guy's hair, super cute. Love that blue. I've had that blue too. Red? I haven't done red in a long time. I always end up being pink instead of red. It doesn't last long enough. It ends up looking like his hair instead. I did it, ticked her off. I must have put her in a real sour mood because I couldn't get her to lighten up.
お嬢の気が済むまで
Let's go,
言う通りに
Coraline
するって
vibes. I was trying to keep it for a while too. I haven't had like the short hair. Like my hair was cut like hers too. It was short. I wound up promising to do whatever she wanted in hopes of cheering her up. That's the problem I have with red. I've had it red. It's been a long time actually since I've gone red. But it was orange like 2 days later. And then it was like this pale pink once when I tried to do red. Red does not live with me for long. Forgive me, babe. The only way out of this is to spin a lie.
なるほど、それでか。俺からの誘いに応じてくれなかったのも、タイガを困らせるためだったんだな。
Itya, you are so trash. So that's why. She's been turning us down just so she can mess with you. That makes sense. But my dream, the reason I want red is because I always wanted to look like Red Sonja. Like, that's the coolest chick in the world. And I couldn't pull it off. I couldn't get my hair to stay red. It always turned orange.
もうタイガさん何やったんですか？しかもお仕置きなんてずるい。
Jeez.
俺も呼んでくださいよ、そういう時は。
What did you do this time? It's not fair that you're the only one who gets punished. You should call me so we can share alike. Yeah, I'm good. Those two couldn't deduce their way out of a playpen. The problem was... Really? Xion pierced me with his eyes. He wasn't buying a word of what I was selling. No surprise, really. I wouldn't believe me
で
either.
もやっとお嬢の気も済んで俺も解放されたからさこれからは大丈夫だ
Thankfully, it seems like she's finally had her fun. She's let me off the hook, so yeah, I'm a free man. Things should go back to normal
とば
now.
っちり食らわせちまって悪かったね
Sorry for getting you all in the caught fires. I might do pink. Pink is always good too. I like pink. I've had pink a few times. This one actually has like layers of color in it too. It's just hiding. You can't see it from the front. But pink is fun. Oh gosh. But I had like the longest time where I was trying to make my hair silver. Silver? I don't know. My brain didn't sound like it sounded right. And I never could get it silver. It would always turn off green or... Oh gosh, what other color happened? I got in green mostly. Usually green instead. I think one time it turned like this shade of blue, which I did like it, but it was not the color I wanted. I smiled, keeping up the
まあ
act.
そういうことなら
Well, if that's all it was.
ですね。よかった。これでお嬢さんに
Woo,
構
I'm
って
glad
も
it's
らえる。
all over. Now I can get Leah to spend time with me again. Xian's gaze spoke volumes. I could practically hear him say, "Do you expect me to swallow that tripe?" He was no idiot. He knew that I was in no mood to let the truth spill out now, and knowing the way he thinks, that meant
まあ小鳥ちゃんがいつも通りになってくれるんならそれでいいけど
I suppose if Leah will revert to her normal self again, we'll carry on. Bingo. He wouldn't push the issue. Gonna hurt to owe him a favor, but please let him back off and let this slide for now. I sent him a glance. His lips quirked into a tiny smile. I was gonna regret this later.
さて
So much regret.
そうと決まればお嬢さんを誘う次の一手を考えなければな
Okay, now that that's settled, I have to start thinking about how next to persuade Leah to join me.
ですね。どうしようかな。なんだったら OK してくれるかな。
What should I do? What kind of stuff would she say yes to?
ふふん悪いがない歌先約は俺がいただくよ
I don't... Sorry, Narita, but she's gonna go on a date with me first.
そんなのわかんないじゃないですか。俺だって負けません。
You can't say that for sure. I'm not gonna back down. There's something weirdly calming about the two of them going back at it like that. I stood and watched them warmly, which left me open long enough for a smiling Xion to ambush me.
タイガもう小鳥ちゃんを怒らせないようにね何度も邪魔されるのは嫌だから
Taiga, try not to aggravate Leah anymore. Would you? It'd be a real setback to suffer interruptions caused by someone else's failings.
わかってるって
I know. Bastard just had to drive it home, didn't he? I'll have to warn the babe about this
タイ
later.
ガはお嬢さんを怒らせる名人だからな
Good luck with that. Taiga's a pro at ticking Leah off after all.
誰より嫌われたくない人相手になぜあんな傍若無人な態度が取れるのか疑問で仕方ないよ
I have no idea how you can take that kind of hearty, flippant attitude around her. Isn't she the last person you want on your bad side?
ほっとけ
Just drop it, okay?
ツンデレだからですよね。
It's because he's a tsundere.
あ
What? Now?
俺には分かってますよ、タイガさん。 ツンとしちゃって素直になれないあれですよね。わかってます。
I can totally see it, Taiga. You act all prickly and mean because you're too bashful to say what you really mean. So you're a tsundere. It's obvious. I'm tsundere. Me. I hit all the buttons at once. I felt a muscle on my cheek start to twitch as if I had tried to keep my hands from balling into fists. Shion's observant bastard that he was must have noticed because he nodded with a big fat smile on his face.
なるほどね。納得したよ。本当はタイガも
I see.
小鳥ちゃんに優しくしたいのにできなかったんだね。
That makes perfect sense. He wants to be as kind to Leah as the rest of us are, but he can't bring himself to project that softness
ツンデ
outwardly.
レだから
Because he's... What was that term? A tsundere? You jackass. Don't encourage that others. I guess the others were savoring a bit of revenge, though. I owed it to him to take it on the chin, so I swallowed my pride and eventually managed to mumble.
そうだ。なかなか素直になれなくてな。
I guess it's kind of hard for me to, be honest with her.
ですよね。でもダメですよ。お嬢さんのことはもっと丁寧に優しく大事に扱わないと。
Right? But if you
この間
really
だって
have to fix that, Leah deserves to be treated kind and politely. Politely, like a princess. Why, just the other day... I grit my teeth and let Nadata's word salad flow into one ear and exit out the other. So tired. Though I guess I ought to be happy I managed to get out of that bind with my cover intact. Anyways, with two eyes in their head, would suspect that something was happening between the two of us. Anybody with two eyes in their head would suspect that something was happening between the two of us. That's completely understandable. I need to move more carefully in the future. What did I tell her? Why did I tell her she could effectively come to me whenever she feels like it? What was I thinking? Was I pretending to be cool? Like I was Ichiya or something? I groaned. I kind of realized this before, but I had a serious soft spot for vulnerable people who looked to me for help. Especially people like the babe, who normally was way too strict to admit when they needed help. My resistance collapsed like a wet paper towel without fail, combined with that adorable kitten in the rain look.
いや、可愛いとか何言ってんだ。あれだろ？妹的な。
Whoa,
Oh.
adorable. What am I saying? I just care for her like a little sister, right? Seriously, get it together, man. Ho ho ho, he's falling for her. Alright, we're gonna pause here for now. I do plan on streaming more today. I just have a couple chores I have to get done because I just got back from a little trip. And I have to do them now, even though I don't want to. I just jumped ahead like I normally do. Oh gosh. Hang on. Alright. Alrighty, but I will be back probably in the latest in an hour in case I decide to eat. In the meantime, I realize tsunderes are one of my favorites. Tsunderes are a lot of people's favorites. That's why there's like pretty much a tsundere in every single game. In fact, if you haven't watched Who's Your Dere, the video I made on YouTube, you can see all about dere types there, where I cover the different dere types, including tsundere. In fact, if you're watching this on YouTube, as a reminder, I stream on Twitch 3 times a week, and we're going to be playing 9 RIP soon, if you're watching this in the more present future. If you're in the further future, who knows what I'm playing? Tell me. Let me know. Thank you guys. Thank you, Blue. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Asia. Thank you, Prim. Thank you, Nyx. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Lore. There was so many people in chat today. Oh my god. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Thank you. I will see you guys in a little bit. Bye for now.